Hello and a warm welcome to this second episode of Third Half Podcast, a podcast where we talk all things Sport.Fun, covering both football and American football. I'm Palmer and I'm joined by Samooves and Velovee. Sam, do you want to kick us off and let the audience know what is Sport.Fun and why we are here?
So Sport.Fun covers football and American football. You buy players, you sell players. The players that you do keep, they can win your rewards. And these rewards you can use in order to open packs. These rewards are called TP. With these packs, you sell in gold, which is a 1-to-1 equivalent to $. So 1 gold equals $1. And that's about it. The performances are based on the real life ones. So each and every week you have opportunities to win. And that's it.
Perfect. And how are you doing anyway? I know you've just flown back from America. Are you still jet lagged? Have you shaken it off? Are you with us today?
I'm 50-50. So last night I went to bed at 9. I woke up at 9, so I had a good 12-hour sleep. But I really had to fight yesterday to stay awake because I was this close to die. And I was close to the sofa, so then I just stood up. I just started walking around the house like a lunatic. And then I was fine. But yeah, I'm doing better than yesterday. Thank you.
It's always good to be back in your own bed. And what about yourself, Love? I know you've just flown over back home to Brazil, repping the Brazil shirt as well with a new haircut. How is it?
Yes. I arrived yesterday in Brazil, and the first thing that I already scaled it was my haircut. So I'm ready. I did it this morning, and yes, the change of the weather is crazy. I was 5 degrees and now I am 30, so this is crazy. And there is 4 hours of jet lag, so it's okay. It's not that different. And so that's it. We are back to work. We are keeping the football as fun and everything. And that's it.
I'm jealous. You guys are jetting away and I'm stuck in England with the rain. I know I sent you lads a video last night. I was at football training, just piss wet through from top to bottom. So, I could probably do with a little holiday sometime soon, but no, good to hear. Right. Let's kick things off. The hot topic, NFL. Massive thing. How did you guys go with the allocation? How many packs did you guys get? What did you think? Who did you pack? Personally, I had 130 in the allocation. I was lucky enough to get an extra 2. I know that the guys have kind of oversold a bit of a mistake, bought them back and just gave them away for free to those who were kind of in phase 2, and kind of being able to buy, trying to buy but missed out. So I was very, very grateful for that. How did you guys kind of do with your allocations?
So for me, I had 9 packs. My players ranged from 1,000 shares to 500. I have around 30 players. I don't know most of them. I know a couple now, 3 or 4. The port value went from $225 gold to around 450, and now it's back down to 360. So 1.5 at the moment. I didn't sell anything yet. I'm still waiting for the first matches, and then I'll see how it goes. But I'm happy with the allocation. I'm happy how it went. Anything plus over football is a bonus for me. So I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
What about yourself, Love?
Yes, for me, I received 6 packs from NFL. And I was in the airport, I was taking a flight, so I didn't I didn't bought any player, I didn't sold any player. I just know that I had 1K shares of Mahomes on my pack, and I know that he's good. So it's oh, okay, 1K shares of Patrick Mahomes. But yes, just like Sam, the other 20 players that I have no idea who is it. But I was happy that I got Mahomes, so it's good. But yes, yesterday the market was live, but I was in the flight, I was in the airport, so I didn't sold anyone, I didn't bought anyone. I'm still holding my players, and just like Sam, I'm waiting for the tournament. So then the game loop will start to rotate the players and everything. So I'm just waiting for the tournaments. And you, Palmer?
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, I put a little tweet out. I was a little bit like on the fence with my packs. I think everybody wants to have the top, when you do the reveal and it kind of says the top 3 players share. I was like, give me, a big name quarterback or a big name kind of running back wide receiver. And I was a little bit like, but yeah, I think after half an hour I sat down, actually, I looked at what I'd got and who I'd got in the allocation, and I was quite pleased. It was a difficult one because, like I say, the top, he says, I had 6,500 shares as my top allocation in Roma Dunze. So he's a wide receiver for the Bears. I'm a Packers fan, so I'm already like a little bit. It is what it is. I don't think the Bears are going to make the playoff. They've got the Steelers coming up in a couple of weeks for Week 12. Might be a game week where he can score high, but other than that, I'm kind of just like, I'm holding on to him, but probably gonna sell. But then when I look down, the kind of the big 3 names for me that I was looking for were the quarterbacks in Drake May, Lamar Jackson, and Patrick Mahomes, and I had 4,000 shares in each of those, so I was happy. I think it was average 3,666 shares per player from all the packs that I had, being obviously 500 shares in each. So the fact I've got above average shares in those guys from my packs, so I was like, actually, it's a win. I'm sitting on all my allocations. I'm not planning to sell anything just yet. I kind of want to wait a little while, let the market mature, and kind of go from there. But I mean, touching on obviously the market and stuff maturing, what do we think about the launch? We obviously saw 24 players out of 72 come into the game. I say yesterday. By the time you guys are all hearing this, it was Tuesday 2 days ago, and by the time it goes out, we're going to have had the second wave of players. There'll be 48 players live, with it kind of coming tomorrow. But what do we think about how the market went? I know, Velovee, you kind of missed it, but have you been able to look back and kind of see a few of the graphs and the market moves and the numbers and stuff? What do you kind of think?
Yeah, like I saw that, for example, Mahomes, he was the top one. So he went like for 0.1 something. And now he's already, yeah.
Yeah, his height was 0.24, I think, from what the team have said. So he's, shot up and kind of came back down. It was, I forget how to pronounce his name. He's like Mr. Kvar or whatever, KVAR or something. I think he bought quite like the ceiling. He'd bought kind of $8,000 of the ceiling and tweeted it out. But, there's always got to be somebody at the top and somebody at the bottom, unfortunately. But yeah, 0.24, his height was for Mahomes.
So yeah, now like Mahomes, it's a little bit down now, but it's normal because, like we said, like at least for me, I think that the players still are gonna like undervalue it because we have no games, we have no tournaments. It's like people are not hyped to buy the players and see the rewards. So, but I think like when the games will start, to the tournaments will start to appear, like people will buy the players, you will buy the shares. But like right now, it's normal to the players gonna be a little bit down. Also because we will still have like 48 players to come in. So like people are thinking like, why I'm gonna buy Mahomes right now, like 0.08, for example, if I can buy Mahomes other players with 0.01 to 5, So like we have to wait all of the players being available. We have to wait the tournaments, and then the prices will start to grow,
No, definitely. What about yourself, Sam?
Yeah, so I was impressed about the rise, the quick one. I thought it was gonna. I mean, football so far has done more, but it took 3 to 4 weeks, like Velovee said, before it started properly. But I'm still impressed that this time for me specifically, I started FDF with just 2 founders packs. So I had only $40 in the game for the first packs. And now when I look at what happened now, I had 9 packs. So that's 180 already. So I'm just thinking that it's, no matter what happens, it's still a win compared to when I first started. And like Velovee said, we are still waiting for the matches. We're waiting for all the players to release. So I think that 3, 4, 5 week window could be the data where the market matures, and then we will see from there, what I'll do. But I'm excited. I mean, you can't get any better entries than what you get from the founders packs. So I think it's a great win regardless.
Perfect. Thank you, Sam. We're back after some technical difficulties of realizing that I hit press live stream rather than being a pre-record. So big shout out to, I think we had 12 viewers at the time that were watching live. So you've got the VIP access of the first 10 minutes before I cut. So we'll carry on. But yeah, I think it's a great point what you guys both say, and Sam, when you reference kind of FDF and the founders packs that you had, it's that $40 didn't just turn into $100 overnight. It took days, weeks really, and we've been grateful from the team and from Rick's to kind of give us some stats about the volume, almost in a comparison. And I'm not too sure if, I think it was a tweet or a Discord post from Adam basically saying that what FDF did in a day, day one, NFL beat in an hour, which I think's amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, the kind of on total day one of the 11th of November, there was over $1 million by volume, and that was from 819 unique accounts, and there's over 4,788 unique transactions for people trying to buy players. So, I think that's just brilliant. Not everybody within the game is going to be interested in NFL. I know a lot of people had NFL packs and didn't buy the packs. I know that's happened. I think obviously we had like 30% still left over from the allocation. People have bought NFL to sell, got no interest in buying again. I mean, you guys obviously explaining that it's not for you. You don't really know who to be going in and buying. So that 819 unique accounts is a crossover of FDF fans as well as new users coming in purely for NFL, and I think it's brilliant. What do you what's your initial reaction to those numbers? 1 million by volume and over 800 unique wallets. What's kind of Velovee, what do you think in terms of that?
Yeah, it's like huge. Like we were saying, I think there's still 1,700,000 gold people that have gold to still spend. So like they're waiting for the next batch of players. And like so far, yes, it's like high numbers. Like you said, 1 hour of NFL. It was the day one of Football.Fun. And same in Football.Fun. It was not the first day that we had like the highest peak of market cap and everything. So like, of course, obviously NFL is still like, the players are still very undervaluated. We will have like a still highest market cap. And yes, like it was like this data is crazy. Like 1 day of Football.Fun, 1 hour, equivalent of 1 hour volume on NFL. And like, for me, I'm expecting like I still a highest market cap on the next days or the next weeks, and we will see. We'll have to see. But so far, it's a really, really interesting start.
No, definitely.
Yeah. So for me, I think that there's still some people that are sleeping a bit too much on the NFL part of the game, primarily because if we look at the participants that took part in the massive surge when FDF was popping off on crypto Twitter, on the timeline, it was mostly people guys from the US that had no clue about soccer or football, and they were just piling in because, we're all some sort of degenerates. And then they were piling in because they wanted to be part of it, but they had no clue who the best player was. So they were just buying Yamal, Mbappe, the top players, and then they had those massive, $2, $3 valuations. So can you imagine that now? I would say a majority of these early buyers in Football.Fun can now take part in the NFL part of Sport.Fun, knowing the players, knowing who they're gonna buy and who's better and whatnot. So just in terms of volume, I think NFL will go past football, primarily because most people from crypto that have, that are a part of this space since many, many years, the biggest ones are all in the US. And now they have
Yeah.
a game that they follow and that they can invest in or play around, whatever. So I think it's going to be even bigger than football.
And also a good thing, like for example, us, like me and Sam, for example, we don't know the NFL players, but for example, me, I know Mahomes, Josh Allen, just like Mbappe and Yamal. So
Yeah.
like the players that really know NFL, they can know the undervalued players that are good but not famous, you know. Just like for example, on the beginning of Football.Fun, for example, Olise or Vitinha, like people don't know him, but with time, you know, they prove that they are good, you know. But for who already know the NFL and know the players, it's a good opportunity to buy the not famous players, you know.
No, I think that's a brilliant point, and it links back to what Sam's saying. You know, I remember the days of the FDF boom, and I missed all the initial kind of allocation and, you know, founders phase 1 or whatever it was. I came in much later, and seeing people on Twitter being like, right, I'm interested in FDF. Who do I buy? I don't know football. And the comments being like, oh, I've bought Yamal. Oh, I've bought Mbappe. And people are they any good? And the replies are like, I don't know. I've just bought them, you know, and the figures were getting pumped because it was like people doing that comparison of, oh, Yamal's a Bitcoin and Mbappe is the Ethereum of, and it's like that insanity, of people kind of without actually playing the game, pumping it up. And I think the user base at its core has probably matured a lot more, and kind of, you know, where you were saying before, why buy a Mahomes at 0.8 when you can buy somebody at, you know, kind of starting price? People are now going, well, actually, I want to gamify the system. I don't just want to be another, you know, person who's got 500 shares in Mahomes. I want to be a big name player with 5,000 in a lesser player. So should they hit that number one spot, I'm going to get a lot more TP. And I think that's the beauty of it. And it's a great point as well you raised. We've seen 24 players in the NFL raised. You know, there's 72 in total, 48 more to come. It's such a fraction of a fraction. You know, we don't have teams defenses. We don't have special teams. We literally got the offensive main 4 positions, and then we've not even got all of those players across all of the teams. We've just got a cherry picked, and that's where I think there's still so much value in the lesser names that people are probably sleeping on. But yeah, the Mahomes pump was definitely fun. I wasn't involved in that. I didn't buy Mahomes. I didn't even try to buy Mahomes. I knew I was just, I'll let somebody else play with that one. I skipped past that one. But I mean, some more figures we've got from Rick's as well. And when we compare to FDF, so for those that were around for FDF's launch, the first group of players that came out in the pro version, there was only there was 10 players on launch, whereas for the NFL we've got 24. So it's not a direct comparison. You know, the market's a lot more diluted than FDF is. But Yamal, according to what I've got, apparently closed the second hour at 0.16, and Mahomes closed the hour at 0.11. So, you know, you've got over twice as many players in NFL, and he's just a little bit shy of Yamal on that kind of launch day. So the ceiling, when you try to look slightly comparatively, I think they're going to be what everybody, you know, as a focal point goes, well, what did Yamal do? What was his trajectory? Will Mahomes surpass it? Will he follow a similar trend? Are you guys kind of, you know, for the shares that you've got, are you looking towards FDF for kind of historical data and what might happen, or are you just thinking it's separate altogether? Don't all speak at once.
I didn't know who
Go on,
was
Sam.
gonna go first.
Yes,
on,
I
Sam.
need to.
Right. So for me, I'm not comparing it directly, primarily because the NFL now is the shiny new thing. So forget all about comparison. How high did it go? How low can it go? NFL is the shiny new thing. People want the shiny new thing. When the NBA will start, it will be the same thing. People will be selling off from football. They'll be selling off from NFL just to get some LeBron James or something. That's just someone I know, LeBron James. Yep. And and it's not comparable also because just like I said, crypto Twitter is primarily dominated by people from the US. Sure, you have other countries as well, but the ones that have where it's most regulated in a sense where the climate is also quite positive is the US. If I compare the US to Europe, for example, we're still, I feel like 5 years behind where the US is at. So I went to Wall Street, actually. I met Publius, maybe he's going to watch this. And
Legend.
I saw at Wall Street, there's a freaking Solana store. Like they're building a Solana store right now on Wall Street. And I was looking, I thought, there's no way this is Solana. I looked closer, it was. They're building some store where people chat or get info, right? So I was thinking, in Europe, we're gonna see this tops like in 5 years. In the UK, maybe in 10 years. I don't know. So it's gonna take a while. So just because of that, NFL, it's a shiny new thing. The climate is good. It's a no-brainer for me just to look at it. It's
Do you
Yes,
think,
like
Sam? I was going to say, Sam, do you think that like the NFL being gone midway through the season, regular season, do you think that's a hindrance for some people? Where if it was start of the season and every single NFL fan was looking at the like projections for the season of their own team, do you think that would have got more people in, or do you think that's irrelevant and people will get in just because, like you say, it's the new thing on the block?
I think they would for sure get in either way. They might sell sooner compared to than if we start the season off, since now we're more towards the end or in the middle. I'm not sure. So that does put a damper in it in terms of, I think, for example, now we're in November, right? I wouldn't be surprised if starting December we see some sell-offs in the NFL and then get rotated back into football. Because there it doesn't stop basically in the Premier League, right? It's continuous. So I do predict that it will have a sell-off there, and then whenever it starts again, 2 months before, 1 month before, there's gonna be more buys again. So it is interesting for sure.
Okay. I mean, on that point there around NFL dipping start of December, I think it will go the other way actually, where, like you say, Premier League and Serie A are the only divisions still going to be playing within FDF. Bundesliga, La Liga, Liga, they're not going to have any fixtures. Now, FDF is confirmed we're not going to be capturing AFCON. So, from your Serie A, from your Premier League, your likes of Mo Salah and stuff, your big name players, that they won't be involved. So we've gone from 5 leagues down to 2. We've gone from 2 full leagues down to maybe 80% of each league. So there's either going to be, I think it's going to be probably mainly gold tournaments across FDF, but it's whether that gold funnels heavily into those players that are active in tournaments, whether people look at buying in early for down the line, or I think it will actually go towards the NFL, where people might not have a clue, but there's going to be Discord service, Twitter messages, threads, where people are just trying to get a bit of information to go, who's a good shout? I've got a load of gold that is useless almost. I think the Premier League players are too expensive. What do I do? And I think that's going to be the beneficial. I feel we've already seen it where it's kind of like a scales. You know, if FDF goes up, NFL goes down, and vice versa. You know, it balances itself out. The money's not leaving the ecosystem; it's just cycling through. You know, whether that close to the end of the season, kind of start of Feb when the NFL is done, that, you know, I feel I'm in agreement that might happen, dependent on what the long-term hold rewards are from the team. But yeah, I think between now and the new year, I really feel the NFL is just going to be going upwards. I don't see it stopping anytime soon, because the landscape that SDF has provided just gives it a bed to absolutely flourish, where I think so much will be good for it. Time will tell, of course, but you know, that's the way I kind of see it going.
Yeah, it's like the new update that they did on the platform, like you can switch between the sports like very
Yeah.
easy. So like it's easy like to rotate and it's the same gold, you know, like your account is the same gold. So it's like easy to rotate between the sports. So yes, I'm agree that, like, for example, when I don't know, have a big game on NFL or sometimes football, it's a little bit a silver term, and like there is no a lot of option. People can rotate, like, let's put some players on NFL because there's an interesting game, or they are giving more TP on tournaments, you know. So, and yes, like you said, like a lot of people, like for example me, I can do this, you know, like sometimes like this week I don't have there's no interesting games in football, so I can
Yeah.
rotate into NFL, but I have no clue about the players. So yes, we are gonna search on Discord, or we are gonna ask people on Twitter, you know, like for what players are you buying, what games are interesting. So this is gonna be like cool for the community, you know, like to communicate, to give tips, to, you know,
Yeah.
the whole ecosystem. I think it's good. It's a good point of the game.
I think, I mean, I put in the Discord in the suggestions yesterday. I did put down that I'd like to see like a landing page where you've kind of got your account gold at the top, and on the left you've got your NFL port value in the TP, and on the right you've got your FDF port value in TP, and kind of just an overview of where is my account at, you know, kind of, and switch it between. I think it would be great if there was, you know, when you've got the live tournaments, for, you know, you can kind of, there's that drop down, isn't there, from the grid, so it tells you the game and what day it is. It would be great if there was a calendar overlap to kind of say when the football games are, when the NFL is, because that would probably help a lot of people going, well, you know, Sam, like yourself, you're a full buy-in stack, you know, do you really want to put your feet up for 2 months and not play FDF and just watch your kind of players do nothing? Or are you going to have that kind of itch that you need to scratch and go, oh, why don't I have a little dabble in the NFL? You know, Palmer's told me this person should be good, so I'm going to take his word for it. You know, I'm gonna put 100 gold onto him and then shout at him when it goes wrong. But just to keep, you know, this is a game at the end of the day. Well, for me, it's a game. You know, some people see it as a trading whatever. But I want to be playing the game. I want tournament points. I want players that are active in competition. And, you know, if the games are Saturday, Sunday for the football and there's nothing midweek, well, what else is there in the NFL? You know, can I get on Thursday night football? Give me something. You said earlier we're all degenerates. You know, we're all going to be looking for that next fix. So it will be fun.
I think when they put the TP on the first tournament, like I don't know, they put like 10 million TP. You know, like people are going to be, oh, caralho. Must be nice to like see players. So I think
They
this
put
can
a
be
big
good.
fat zero on it.
Just
1-0-0-0-0-0.
I mean,
No, but
that's
I have
probably
a question.
Go on.
The season ends when for the NFL?
The Super Bowl, I don't think the date's confirmed yet for the Super Bowl, but it will be, I think, like the first week of February.
Okay, so I mean,
There's time.
I mean, you're telling me that for how long is the break? 4 months?
Oh, I couldn't even tell you. I mean, because there's no real like I doubt they're going to do friendlies. There's no real, like, you know what I mean? There's no out of season competition, but I couldn't tell you when the start of next season will be.
So you guys are telling me that it's December, mid-December. There's 1 month left or 1.5 months left of the NFL, and then it's just quiet and it's not gonna sell off. Like for me, I just know I have I mean, when there's no games, how are the players not gonna sell off, regardless of utility? You like the NFL. I'm looking at it the other way. Let's say in January it's just 2 to 3 weeks of no football for Bayern, for example.
Yeah.
2 to 3 weeks, there's nothing. I'm looking at it in that time period. Let's say NFL is still quite high. I could then buy into Bayern when they're at their cheapest. So in January, I think there's no games. There's like 3 weeks off. Bayern's gonna be dirt cheap, all of the players. So I think that when the NFL is over or closing to get over, it just makes sense to rotate that back into Bayern, who will still have 2 to 3 weeks no games. I think
That's a good
that's not
strategy.
a long time to wait, and then NFL is gone for like 6 months or 5 months.
Well, don't forget that the team have explained, I think, for 4 months after the season, they're going to continue to pay out rewards. And obviously, we don't know what that reward structure is going to be like. We don't know how incentivized it's going to be. So as it stands, without the actual knowledge, I think you can kind of, just to play devil's advocate, if you don't know about football and you are simply an American football fan, do you keep your investment safe within NFL and continue to earn, whether it's TP or gold or however they structure it for 4 months? Or do you roll the dice, take a 3% fee selling it out of NFL, take another 3% fee buying into FDF, and then potentially buy a player like we've seen Kevin De Bruyne? Kevin De Bruyne took a penalty, scored, hamstring went, bang, 90% drop. So is it actually going to be more beneficial to move to FDF if you don't have the knowledge to back it up and to kind of go and buy the right players at the right prices and earn enough TP? Or is it going to be better just to sit and hold? No, yep, the prices might come down 40% as some people sell. However, I'm just going to sit tight, keep my investment going. And when the season starts, I'm going to have all these shares. People are then going to buy back in and it will go back up to where it was. So I think the team, I don't know how they do it. I'd love to read up about it when they kind of publish how it's going to work. And I'm sure there's going to be different sites that will kind of do, trajectory of how much rewards it will earn back, like the buyback bot. I know there was a site set up to kind of calculate it. And there's going to be a lot of calculations for people to kind of decide what they do. But it's like that. I think it will also be decided on as a group. If out of 100 players own, NFL player X and 99 of those people sell, well, then 100% you should have sold because it's come down so far. However, if you sell out of the NFL and 99% of people hold, well, then you're now having to buy back in at a higher price and you're lost. So you kind of look into the person to the right and the person to the left of you to see what they're doing. And that's where the game comes in. Do you sell really early, miss out on TP, potentially miss out on a higher price, as the playoffs go on and more people pile into the money, but you're happy with your takeaway and then you move it to FDF or extract? Or do you just, continue it, try and win TP and see where you get it? That who knows is the answer. And there's going to be people on either side of that fence.
I think if you're NFL only, then maybe it's better to hold those players for 6 months, because I just know when you don't know what you're doing and you're trying to time and look who's better, you just waste a bunch of money on fees.
Yeah.
And I did that with football. So, for example, I mean, I've been watching it since 15 years. Since I'm born basically. I walk around with a ball. So even in that case, you can't always win. Like you might think, okay, this guy is good, but you're gonna get burned every time you try and time something. So if you're NFL only, this is not financial advice, or maybe it is. Stick to NFL if the prices don't drop, but the rewards would have to be really lucrative for those 6 months for you to be able to hold for 5 months, seeing the price go down, at least I would assume 30 to 40% during that time, and just be in a good position for the next season. But 6 months is a long time. In football, you have the World Cup, you have this tournament, you have that tournament. I don't know how the team are gonna do it, but I'm gonna stick to my lane. And NFL guys, maybe stick to your lane, because you know more in NFL than you do in football. I mean, just buying the top player doesn't mean he's always gonna win, unless it's like Mbappe or Yamal.
Yeah, I mean, everything's gonna depend how the team will reward the player that keep the shares. So like it's difficult to say now if it's good to sell or if it's good to keep. But like me, right now, maybe I'm gonna sell because we will have the World Cup, and like I think it's gonna be a very very interesting things to be in. So even if you are an NFL guy, if I were you, I were like putting into football in the World Cup, because I think the World Cup the NFL is still gonna be off. So like a World Cup is a must. Like you have to be in. So, but it's difficult to say now because everything depends on the team, what they do to reward the players and everything.
No, definitely. I think it's almost like we're trying to look into a crystal ball and see what will come up. And I mean, I put a little message in one of the Discords the other day that I think personally I'll be on the same play as yourself, Sam, where I think for me, selling's probably going to be the better option purely for I want to have as much, gold to play FDF with to make market moves. But secondly, and I think this is a big one and it could be a rabbit hole that we go down, NBA. I got told that apparently the NBA playoffs is like fucking months long. They play each other just over and over and over again. Apparently, I know nothing about the NBA. I started, kind of loosely following it this season. I picked the Charlotte Hornets to follow. Apparently, they're really fucking bad.
NBA, I understand. I'm good on NBA.
Well, then, so you're our man. But so it's one of those where I know nothing about it. However, when it comes around, I will very much do a shit ton of research, and I want my gold to be ready available so I can jump in on the market, try and snipe some players, and get involved in that aspect. If it's tied away in if it's tied away in NFL, you've not really got much to work with. So I think that's going to be an interesting one to see what the team do. Do they bring out NBA before NFL season ends? Do they do it afterwards? In which case, and like we've touched on, NFL and NBA are going to be probably 90% of American users. I know, there's probably a lot of kind of Central Europeans that like American football and play American football. And I think that the stats are that NBA, Rix was saying that it's quite heavy in Asia and places like that is basketball. So, there's going to be different groups of kind of people and countries, but there'll also be a lot of crossover where people are just looking for money. They don't know who to buy. They're just aping into the biggest name, Victor Wembanyama. They're just going to go right full port into him and hope he does well. So yeah, that's probably an episode on itself anyway. So I'll swiftly move us along before we get too distracted and just take us back down
just
to
a question.
Go on.
Yeah, just for Bruno, or Velovee, sorry. How long is the off season in the NBA?
It's like 4 months.
4
They
months.
stop for 4 months.
But you've got
And there's
summer
many
league
games
and
when the
stuff like
season's
that.
on. There's many games.
Yes, there's like 82 games in the regular season, and there's the playoffs. So it's basically like a game every day on NBA. So, but I don't think that the tournament will be like this. I think maybe they will do like 2 tournaments per week or something like this. But it's cool to watch NBA. Like there's games, a lot of games. Yeah, I like.
Yeah, how would they even score the points if they're playing so often?
I was gonna say, I know fantasy does it where there's like 3 games in a week and they just do it from like Friday to Friday and they take that player's highest score across all those games? Because
Yes.
say if a team plays, they might play literally on a Monday night and a Tuesday night. So the player
Uh-huh.
might play on the Monday and sit out on the Tuesday. So they just do the highest score.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's about as much as I know.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. And NBA is gonna be fun.
When NBA, put that in the chat. Right, back to NFL. Unless Sam wants to distract me again.
All right.
So, looking at the kind of 11th of November, and then kind of coming back to Thursday. So again, some more stats. Over the first 15 minutes, we had $437,000 in buy volume, and we had $49,000 in sell volume. So, you know, I'm sure you guys are aware, but for any listening that's not, in that power hour of the drop, for the first 15 minutes, the sell fees were 25%. It then got dropped down after 15 minutes, and then another and another. So it then kind of went 25, 15, 10, 5%. And then after an hour, it was back to 3%. So that obviously was done to slow down people just buying, selling, flipping and almost rug pulling people. Do you think, what did you guys look into that, read into that? I know you weren't really active for the drops. Do you think that as a concept it was a good idea, or what are thoughts around that?
Yeah, I mean, like, there is no point to sell in the first hour, because the first hour it's like $300 maximum to buy.
Mm,
So like we don't have a massive buy, So there's no
mm,
point to sell in the first phase. Um, and yes, on the second phase, like the high go to $10K, I think the maximum
yeah.
per user. So then yes, on the second phase we have like massive buys. And if you want, I think it's better to sell on the second phase than in the first phase.
Do you think they should have continued the fees outside of the power hours? So obviously after the first hour where it was only for allocated people, the sell fees were back to 3%. Do you think it should have continued at 5, 10, 15%, or what do you kind of think?
I think it's okay like this, because if you put on the second phase this restriction, I don't think it's good like to say to someone like, no, don't buy, don't sell, because when you put like a 20% fees, you are basically saying like don't sell,
Mm,
so I don't think that it's good to like to say this like don't sell, like the people can do whatever they want. If they want to sell right in the second phase and that's it, they do it. So I think like this is okay. It will depend. Like for example, as we are saying, the price still are going up. So even I don't think it's good to sell on the second phase right now. I would wait to sell anyway.
mm.
So no, I think that's okay. The phase like this in the first phase, and the second phase normal.
What about yourself, Sam?
Yeah, so I mean, putting limitations for the first hour makes sense, like Velovee said. Any more than that, I think, is also not a good thing. So I think how they did it is correct, because if you put limitations on people, if you put many rules in let's say in a market, it causes ripple down effects with everything.
Mm,
So I mean,
Exactly.
I know we shouldn't compare FDF to like the stock market, right? But let's say there's a bunch of rules of how much you pay in terms of fees for buying stocks and whatever. It's gonna cause and make people not buy uh, those shares. So having
yeah.
a looser policy after the first hour is the only thing that really makes sense, because it's a free market. You buy, you sell. There's a 3% fee, which I think is fair for the team. Some people argue it should be even lower, but I think that's a good benchmark. 3%, that's fine.
I mean, yeah, and when you look at the kind of figures over the first hour, you had $49,000 sell volume in the first 15 minutes. That was hit with 25% fee. Then in the second 15 minutes, you've got $54,000 sell volume. And then in the third 15 minutes, you've got $37,000 sell volume. So, that there is captured a lot of fees by the 25, 15, 10% fees. And the team have already confirmed there's going to be a buyback bot put into NFL in the next week or two. I think obviously they need to, A, collect the fees, and B, build the kind of systems to kind of correctly do it and allocate it. I think that's brilliant in the first hour, where it's almost a reward. That first hour of sniping, quote unquote, is there for people who have, I don't know, the good lads or whatever they want to call it. So it's a reward. It's a thank you for being, doing lots of volume in FDF, being a long-term holder, not selling, having, positive withdrawal deposits, earning lots of TP. It's a reward. So they've gone, right, you can come in an hour earlier, but obviously then they need to be like, well, don't take advantage of it, so if you want to come in early and be, lucky enough to get these brilliant prices, don't then throw it back in our face by instantly selling and flipping on everybody else who's been rewarded. So, I think it's quite a good one, and it'll be interesting to see those fees trickle back into the people that are holding in the NFL and are looking to play long term, because that will help inflate it, and throwing it back 10 minutes when we were talking about postseason, if the buyback bot still has fees, it will still be pumping into people's holdings and kind of boosting it up a little bit, which will be great.
Yes.
And it'll be interesting to see the fallout on phase 2 tomorrow. Obviously the day people hear this, if people have been restricted, if they've been blocked from early buys because they've sold a lot, the team were very clear. Trading is absolutely fine. Feel free to sell, but kind of put that money elsewhere. Don't just sell, have the gold in your account or withdraw it. Kind of, actually take part of the ecosystem and do that. So I think it's a great thing. I think a lot of people were skeptical about it at first, but probably after looking at the facts and figures afterwards, it'll be good.
But yeah, it makes sense, like, to reward players that are keeping the money in the ecosystem. So it's like totally normal.
I think Adam,
And
he sent
just
something.
a quick correction.
Yeah, sorry.
I said that to not sell on the first hour, but yes, I remember that we have buyback. So if you want to sell on the first hour, percent fees, you can do it. It's fine. We will take the buyback, and it's okay.
Yeah, well, I was saying that Adam, he had posted something or said something in the Discord where there were people initially going into his DMs complaining that they're not that they're restricted basically from taking part in the next share of players for the first hour, because they basically sold and then extracted from the platform. So some of these, they made 10K, right, in gold, and they had to pay a 20%, or how much was it? I think a 20% fee when they sold off in that first hour during the big run up in football, right? They sold and then they extracted. So maybe they started off with 3K and then they made 10K. So that's still 7K in terms of gold. And then they were complaining in his DMs, actually, why can't I take part in the next players? Why can't I be there in the first hour? I mean, you're still available to take part in the second hour or in the third hour. You'll have lower limits maybe, but you can still take part in that, just not in the first hour. And people were really angry about that. And he was correctly pointing out that, dude, you just made 7K, you extracted that from the platform, and you're just supposed to be able to do that consistently. It's not going to work. I mean, it's never going to work if you can just always do that. It's impossible.
I saw
Yes.
a lot of people with the pack allocation being like, oh, I've only got, I don't know, 5 packs. I want more. And then people are like, yeah, but you've also got the ability to buy NFL players in the power hour because you've been given allocation. Oh, I don't want to buy players. It's like, so what the fuck do you want? You just want 3 packs. It's like, yeah, I want packs, but I don't want the ability to buy, because I don't care about NFL. I just want packs so I can make a profit and put it into FDF. And it's like, this, I suppose it is, like you say, it's a reward. It's a, you know, for whatever, taking part in the game. But again, the system that's done, I think it was AJ that kind of went through the allocations and everything, and you know that's such a difficult job to look through all these accounts, and there's going to be a few mistakes and people that probably got more than they should have or less than they should have, or you know weren't included. But normally, when I've seen somebody complaining, the team have been very quick to kind of just post a screenshot and be like, highlighted in red, this is why you didn't get what you should have got. So yeah, I think it's quite good. I mean, what do we think then in terms of the market? I know we touched on, I don't have it in front of me now. It kind of, I saw it go from 1.4 million to about 5.8 million market cap. I think it's now sitting around 3.54 off the top of my head. What do we think about that? You know, we don't at the moment, as it stands, have NFL this weekend. It's going to be the 20th of November. Do we think that's a contributing factor that the market cap is a little bit low because we've got 2 tournaments, I think, for FDF between now and the first NFL games? What are kind of thoughts on that, Sam?
Yeah, so I think it's gonna, how we saw now, it has consolidated a little bit, and it's gonna slowly rise just like it does in football. It's gonna increase probably right until the game of that specific player. Then as the game goes on, maybe he makes one wrong pass and then people are gonna dump him 30%. Or I don't know what they're gonna do, but my prediction is that it's gonna stay like this and then slowly rise until the first match day.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's just gonna be mayhem depending on what the player does, right?
Yeah.
Can't argue
Yeah,
with
like
that.
I think we still have to wait the game loop to start to have a notion of the market cap, because right now, like, we just have 24 players, we have no games, no tournament, so it's just speculations. You know, so we have to wait for the game loop to start, and then we'll have a notion of the NFL market cap.
What are we thinking then? I mean, so we've got at the moment, as of now, 24 players. We don't know the next list of 24 players. That will come on the Thursday. We've then got to wait all weekend until the final 24 players. What you know, is that good? Is it good that they're slow rolling us, trying to build up a bit of, you know, I don't know, excitement, a bit of atmosphere, a bit of whatever, you know, because I thought that when they did the staggered drop, I thought, right, we're getting Mahomes in the, you know, the drop 3. I didn't expect Mahomes out the gate. I suppose it's probably been used as a pump, as a boost, you know, get people talking about it, look at Mahomes' price. But what are kind of thoughts about being slow rolled, and instead of getting a tournament this weekend, we've got to wait until next week for the final players and then get the tournament, you know, a few days after the final drop? What are thoughts?
Yes, like I saw that Adam, he put it on Discord that yes, maybe we're thinking about like anticipate the tournament, you know, because they know that the game loop needs to start, the tournament needs to start. But yes, they're saying that it's starting just on the 20th November. Like they said that they're still testing the points and everything. So, but yes, like for me, if I could decide something, it would be better to like start right away, you know, the tournaments and everything. Like, I don't know, drop the players, 24 players today, 24 more players tomorrow, you know, and then start the tournament on this weekend. It would be good, you know, but we don't know.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I have no preference. The
Sitting on the
like
fence.
I said, I have no idea. I mean, it would be nice, obviously, to have 24 players every day and then start right off. I could also see how this is a good strategy where it builds up slowly. People start posting on X who they bought, and then it's just a slow snowball. I mean, in football, I don't remember how exactly it was, but even I remember having to wait a while before the first game week. But I'm not sure how much it was. But I remember having the packs, and then it took a while. It took, I think, a week or 2 before we had our first official match, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I mean, I think I did I did kind of a little my own prediction and thought about what might happen a little while ago, and my my thought process was that it would be, I think week 11, week 10, week 11, I said that it would be going because it's up to week 18 for the regular season and then into the playoffs. So we're on a ticking time, to wait an extra week delay almost just seems like quite a crazy thing to do where you're missing out on potential TP and potential rewards and potential, gold into the ecosystem, and it's just pushing it all back. Like you said, Adam's kind of touched on the fact that it could be done. I think there's been talk about TP being given retrospectively or retroactively even. So, for people that held it, it might not show on the leaderboards, but they'll come back to the scoring and then award the TP. So another reason why for me, get in early, don't be hanging around, hold on to the shares and we'll see. But I mean, obviously without, as it stands, an NFL tournament this week, the kind of attention turns towards FDF, and we've got I think it's silver, diamond, gold tournament, the next 3 coming up with the international breaks. But when this goes out tomorrow night, we've got 6 games kicking off in a silver tournament. I think one of the biggest ones is probably going to be the Norway game with Erling Haaland. Have you guys got any kind of shares and any guys over the next couple of FDF tournaments? Have you got any, what are you thinking for the football aspect?
Yes, we have the silver tournament, and when you look about goalkeepers, we have like 3 TP, because Pickford, Donnarumma, and I don't know the other one. I think it's the Spanish guy, Simon, but I'm not sure.
Unai Simon, yeah.
So we have like just 3 options of goalkeeper that are gonna play, and so it's like 3 TP. So like if you see like Pickford price, he was like 0.2 I think some weeks ago, and now he's like 0.4, 0.5, because people are buying him just for this specific silver tournament, And I'm sure that like the moment that England concede, he will like come down a lot. I'm pretty sure like 100% down. So like you can build your strategy, we'll see what happens. But that's the game. If England concedes, he's gonna be down. And we have a lot of players that are like overpriced, just because of the silver or gold tournaments. Yes. Like he's one of the highest defenders. Like yes, it's crazy. But yes, it's the game. It's the game.
This is why I stopped doing all this timing, who's playing against who, because every player might have an off day. You're basically going for 100% predictability in something that has a 50% or less chances of happening, because you never know. There might be a stupid pass, there might be a strange corner, there might be a bad refereeing decision, there might be an offside goal. I mean, even with VAR, the offside is sometimes really strange. So for me, right, that's why I've stopped going for players that might have easy matchups, and then because then if they don't, right, I bought him, it didn't work out, and then you sell at a loss because you bought, maybe even if you bought very early, once he dumps, probably it's gonna be lower, right? So that's why I stick to just Bayern players, and that's it. I sleep easy. There's no problem. I watch the price go up. I watch it go down. I don't care because I'm just buying the shares of the players, right? That's it. Yeah. Much better like this, to be honest.
That's one that I kind of, in my calculations when I'm looking at profit and loss on a player on a trade, I don't factor in TP earn because I want to profit or break even on a trade, and should I win TP, that be extra money. I don't like buying into a player, taking a X loss on it, but then going, it's okay because I won this amount of TP off them. I think, I want to be positive trading, and then the TP goes up, and that's sometimes left me to kind of go, well, I'm at a loss of 30% of this player. I don't want to cash in on a 30% loss because I've not earned enough TP. So I might as well try and win TP and then hope the price goes up and I can kind of sell in a positive across the board. But But I suppose you don't really have that with Bayern. One question for you then: do you think Harry Kane plays this international tournament? Obviously, he's probably one of the big names for you in the international break. England are already qualified. Do they need to risk, Harry Kane? We've seen Yamal being called back from internationals from Barcelona. Do you think Bayern have had a word with him saying, please don't get injured because we don't want to rely on Nicholas Jackson with you? What do you expect there?
So actually, I'm not really up to date. Did he have a knock or something?
Who, Harry Kane?
Yeah.
As far as I'm aware, I think he's fit and ready to go. But
I mean,
it's
then
just England have already qualified, and do you need to risk Harry Kane in a game that effectively doesn't matter?
I mean, it depends on the. I mean, he's either he's gonna play, right? If he plays, so I have 100 shares of him.
Mm-hmm.
So I just have him because then enough players usually play the tournament. But because he was so pricey, I only have 100 shares. So I mean, in terms of a Bayern supporter, I would hope that. I mean, he doesn't have to play. I would rather he's fit for the club. But that's just a very biased opinion. If he does play and he usually performs, then it's a good thing. But even if he does perform, for me at least in FDF purposes, I would get 120 TP maybe if he's first place. So I'm more looking towards Luis Diaz,
the other guys,
Kimmich, the defenders, and Neuer, but he's retired from Germany. So Olise and Kane, I just have them that they play, and I'm gonna increase the shares over time as I win TP rewards and open hopefully good legendary packs.
Do you have Serge Gnabry? Obviously, he's a big player for
I do.
Germany.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should be. I think that's quite a
10K shares. Yeah.
Oh, nice. That's probably quite a big bag
And
for a
he's
lot of
cheap
people.
right
I
now.
think.
Yeah, and
Very
he's cheaper,
cheap,
right?
yeah.
So my goal is just to get 10K of all the players. I think that's my first goal, and then see from there.
I was gonna say he's. I've got 70k shares, so have that, Sam.
Thank you. You're a bigger Bayern fan than me.
Showing you how it's done. Yeah. I mean, the international break's a weird one for a lot of people. You see players getting rested in ways that are crazy. People are probably looking. I mean, I think one of the interesting ones for Spain, you've got Garcia coming back for Barcelona after the international break. Unai Simon's been on a bit of a crap run of form. David Raya's been on a great run of form. Do we see David Raya start for Spain over Unai Simon? Gerald Konza for Bayer Leverkusen, yes, probably a little bit of bad form, but he's shown the player he can be. Does he get a start over Ezri Konza in a game that kind of doesn't matter? Or does Thomas Tuchel go, no, I want to go with my starting 11 and get more, familiarity in the formation and the tactics?
Confidence. Yeah.
So, you look at the likes of France. Last tournament, I thought Mbappe, when they played Azerbaijan, I thought Mbappe, no way does he start. And he started against Azerbaijan. So it's so difficult to get into the mind of a club manager, let alone an international manager. And you don't know then what's coming from the club in saying he needs rest, he shouldn't get minutes. I think a big surprise was obviously Gyökeres with Sweden, Isak being out, Gyökeres being healthy. Tables have now turned. Isak's in, Gyökeres isn't. Going to be an interesting one. And on that note of predictions, should we look back last week at what our predictions are and how well they did?
Well,
Sam, do you want to start us off on what your prediction was last week and how it got on?
So my prediction, if I'm not mistaken, was a 4-3 win for Man United. It ended in a 2-2 draw, and I predicted a hat-trick from Šeško and a brace from Kolumwani. So I won't spoil anything, but my prediction was closer than both of yours.
I predicted 200 Okay, I was wrong. I believe 250 for Anderson, but he did well actually. He did like 100 and something. But yes, of course we were wrong. But it was like, God, one more goal and Anderson could, reach the objective. But no,
It was crazy that didn't Elliot Anderson take a penalty right at the last minute?
Yes, on the last minute. Like
Oh,
just
he missed it.
No, he
no,
scored.
he did.
Okay.
He converted the penalty, But it was normally on Nottingham Forest, it's Gibbs White that takes the penalty. But he got subbed off, and then 2 minutes after, penalty from Forest, and I was like, please Anderson, please Anderson, please. And then he got the ball, and I was like, yes. And then he converted the penalty, and I was happy.
But it
Did
wasn't
you
enough,
watch
right? How much did he win something?
Yeah, no, he placed on 6, I think 6 or 7.
Close. Did you watch the
Yeah.
Spurs Man United game, Sam, or did you not watch that one?
I didn't
'Cause
actually. I was
There was
I
late
was in the
drama there as
US.
well.
Yeah, I was just traveling. I had no internet, so I didn't watch any games the past week. I've just been going to Indian weddings and and just being in a different time zone, to be honest.
No, I was going to say that game was interesting. Obviously, 1-0 up and then 1-1 and then 2-1 down and then last minute equaliser. But yeah, Yusheshko miss was not a good guess. I mean, I don't even want to go through mine. I obviously said it was
we should
Liverpool
speak about it.
versus it was Liverpool versus Man City. And I said it was going to be a 5-0 Liverpool win. I think I said Mo Salah hat-trick. But to be honest, right, so we went 1-0 down, and it was such a stupid goal. So it was a penalty. We gave away a penalty. Mamad Vasheli against Doku, brilliant save, and then cross comes in. Haaland heads it down. It hits off Konate's shoulder and loops over the keeper to the back post, and it's like, what? We then go and score an equaliser. Virgil van Dijk header off a corner. Donnarumma's watching the ball. The ball's coming through. He dives. You can see the ball the whole time. But because it goes past Robertson, who's offside, they went, yeah, he's offside, obstructed. No obstruction. I was watching it on Sky. Sky bring up this big, graphic of these are the rules of why it might be offside. None of the rules made any sense for the scenario. Should have stood as a goal. And then we just went and got absolutely battered.
Is this a biased opinion or a factual?
No, factual, absolute factual.
Okay.
So yeah. It was a soft penny.
And the other 2 goals, what happened?
We don't need to talk about that.
Yeah, we need to talk about the 2 goals.
It was one of those games where Doku just went crazy. He had such a good game. I think did he top in FDF or was he not? I can't remember. His goal.
First or second?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, his goal was brilliant. He, outside the box, slipped it onto his right and just whipped it top corner. And I think goals like that, you have to just say fair play. He had a brilliant game, did Doku. He deserved his goal at the end. But yeah, defensively, it's just not good enough from Liverpool's aspect. But we don't dwell on the past. We look towards the future, and with that, we make more outrageous takes. So, who wants to kick us off with their wild take that's going to happen between now and the next episode?
I can start.
Go on.
So for all of the Pickford holders, I recommend you to already sell him because England's gonna lose for 1-0 for Serbia and a goal for Pavlovic. So you need to buy Pavlovic because he's gonna score 1 goal and England's gonna lose the game. That's my guess for the international. You don't agree with me, Palmer? You're not agree?
I mean, no. So you're saying a 1-0 loss for England?
Exactly.
So Pickford's in the mud.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. And what about yourself, Sam?
So this player is actually not in FDF, but I think he's washed. So if you're holding any Cristiano Ronaldo imaginary stock shares on the cloud somewhere, you should sell him probably, because Portugal are gonna get beaten by Ireland with a 2-1 defeat. And you might as well sell Vitinha as well.
What about Rafael Leao and all the others?
And Leao too. Sell every Portugal player. They're all washed. They're gonna lose. That's my prediction.
Who's going to score for Portugal?
If it is a player, he's not on FDF.
And then next week you come back. So yes, for new Portugal, yes.
I mean, didn't I'm just trying to think now. So
Who else is
Portugal,
there from Portugal? There's Vitinha. Who else plays? Mendes.
Vitinha, Leão, João Neves, Bruno Fernandes.
I was going to say, I mean, Portugal played Ireland. I remember this actually, and Calvin Kelleher played an absolutely amazing game. And they did. When did Portugal score? It was like last minute. Yeah, Ronaldo missed a penalty, and then on the 91st minute, Portugal won 1-0 against Ireland. So Ireland are going to be out for blood. They've already proven how bad Portugal are. So I can ride with that one.
And it's at home, right? They have the great fans. They're all gonna boo Ronaldo. He's gonna get scared, and then he's gonna miss another penalty.
I can see that happening. I think for me, I'm going to take
Messi's
it away
best,
from.
by the way. Messi's the best.
Just got to get that in there. For me, I'm going to take it away from live sport and I'm going to put it towards SDF. We've spoken about it a little bit and there's been a bit of rumours. My prediction is that we will have the first NFL tournament within the game this weekend. I think we get the players quickly rolled out. I think we get the game up and running. The demand is there. The ask is there. The people want it. The team, they're going to pull their finger out. Rix is actually going to do his job. There's going to be things happening. And we're going to get NFL this weekend. So I believe that's for me. I mean, it's going to be close. We're going to have the first games, very, very soon for NFL this weekend. But I think they're going to shuffle all the players for the Thursday night football out on Thursday during the day. We're going to have the market live. Friday's going to hit the last 24 players ready for the weekend on Sunday. And we're going to be there. We're going to be involved.
You don't think they can maybe, I don't know, maybe not open the live market, but push the tournament just with the players that you had on your founders packs, for example?
I don't think that's fair on the people that missed out on allocation for the founders packs. I think they have to have the market live for the tournament to be live. And I think we get that done. I think instead of it being on Tuesday, they bring it forward 48 hours. We get the tournament going. We get the game pumping. We get the screenshots on socials. The MC's going to be climbing. FDF's in the mud. I'm here for it. I'm here for a bit of NFL action.
I'm with you. I think
again.
they can do
You
it.
are making a mistake for the second time, and then everyone just shares their screenshots. And someone's gonna buy it up, and then he's gonna come on Discord. Oh, yeah, this is a scam. Yeah.
So
Good.
we'll see.
Good.
So a little recap: we've got Portugal will be losing to the mighty Irish 2-1. Ronaldo's going to be just terrible. Kelleher's going to be insane. We're going to get it done. And Bruno has gone for, disgustingly, a 1-0 win for Serbia. Pavlovic to score a goal. Pickford holders to be crying.
Yes.
English fans are rioting.
Yes.
And for me, I've gone for, we're going to have the NFL game up and running this weekend, a week early, get the action going. I love that. I think if I will be happy if 2 out of 3 of those predictions come through. So
Yeah, we have a great track record so far.
You are
Well,
an infant holder, I'm sure.
I actually don't know if I am, but I probably am. That reminds me, I need to promote my players for the day. And anybody listening, make sure you use your 3 promotions before they expire. That's a little top tip from me as somebody who got shouted at by Sam the other day for not promoting.
Yeah, he's
I will
like a
be doing
bunch
that
of
after this
deadwood in
episode.
his development center. Just decaying there, not getting promoted.
It is what it is. We move, but no, that's been brilliant. Episode 2 complete. Episode 1 was amazing. We got the highs of that. We got so many shares, so many likes. We cleared
you,
100
guys.
followers on X. We've got the YouTube platform going, the Spotify going. Velovee's posting on Instagram and TikTok. We're getting so many shares, so many likes, so many follows, and it's great. Just as for me to say anyway, 3 guys from currently 3 different countries in 2.5 different continents. Brexit means Brexit. It's great that we're coming together as strangers and talking about a game that we like, and it's being appreciated by everybody listening. So yeah, massive shout out to everybody that's supported us so far. And we'll be back next week with episode 3 to review our outrageous takes, see what's happening with the NFL. We should have every single player in the NFL live on the market. FDF will be booming. We'll have the international break will be over, and hopefully lots more for us to break down. So we're going to end it there. That's all from me, Palmer, Velovee, and Samooves, and we'll see you next week.
See you.
Peace.